We sought out care from Dr. Bryan because my third grader, who is 8 years old, has really been struggling with attentiveness and sleeping and general sensory overload a lot, and just socially awkward and really couldn't seem to connect with his peers. So we always knew that something was different, and then we started seeking out a diagnosis about a year ago. And honestly, when the diagnoses came in of ADHD and some sensory processing issues, I was very relieved to know that there was something that it wasn't something that I was doing wrong as a parent, that it was something that he was wired with and born with. And then I got really overwhelmed. My biggest fear when we finally got diagnoses and could figure out what was going on is that he wouldn't have friends. And I really wanted him to have that deep connection of friends. And I was worried that he wouldn't know how to have those relationships. And then on an academic level, I was really worried that he wouldn't be able to succeed in a academically competitive environment. So before seeing Dr. Bryan, we tried the behavioral pediatrician and lots of medication there. We tried occupational therapy for gross motor skills and fine motor skills, and we tried like a boys club social group to try to bring all of it together. I first heard about Dr. Bryan from a friend who had recently started taking her family to the practice, and I was cautiously hopeful. And then I went and checked out the website and thought, this is a lot of really great information, and I thought it was really vocalizing what I wanted for my son and for our family, and so we immediately made an appointment. Our first impression of the clinic was that it was very family oriented, which I really wanted. I have other children, and it's been really hard for us to balance all the appointments that I can't take my other kids to, so it was nice to be able to come as a family unit and have Parker be seen and treated. And I was blown away by the depth of knowledge that Dr. Bryan had and how he was able to really zero in on what Parker needed and what could be done to help him. Now, after seeing Dr. Bryan for the last 2 months, we have seen sustained attention for my 8-year-old. He can sit down, we homeschool, so he can sit down with his schoolwork and have a checklist of what needs to be done for the day, and he can knock it all out without any help from me or any intervention, which I honestly never thought was possible. His gross motor skills have greatly improved. He just learned how to ride a bike a few weeks ago, which we've been trying to teach him how to ride a bike since he was 5, and we just couldn't get it down. He learned how to tie his shoes last week, which was a fine motor skill that he's always struggled with. And he learned how to swing on the swing set, which seemed so simple, but was just something that he could not figure out the movement. So what surprised me most about seeing a chiropractor for sensory issues was that I didn't think the alignment of the spine mattered for sensory issues. I thought it was just something that he would need to get desensitized to and grow out of. But instead, what I learned through talking to Dr. Bryan is that it all worked together, and that if the spine wasn't aligned, then he would consistently and constantly be overwhelmed. I would absolutely recommend Dr. Bryan to any other families whose kids are struggling with sensory issues. It has been a life-changing experience for us. My name is Laura Murray. I am a wife and mother and patient of Dallas Energy Chiropractic.